So, Gotham has cat people, wolf people, and bat people.
Oh my! Welcome back to another episode of Batman the Animated Recap. Last time, we covered Day of the Samurai, featuring the return of Batman's ninja nemesis, Kyodai Ken. This time, we get the return of the Man-Bat. Sort of. Season 1, Episode 45 of Batman the Animated Series, Terror in the Sky. We open on a wintry night in Gotham. On the docks, two dock workers are attacked by the Man-Bat, who is less interested in the workers and more interested in what they're loading onto a truck. Tomatoes. Oh, it's a fruit Man-Bat, eh?
Who you calling a fruit?
What? No, I'm saying that the creature is a fruit bat.
Oh! Like the Fruit Loops guy?
That's a toucan.
Toucan what?
What?
Two can do what?
Morons. I'm surrounded by morons.
But more on that later, eh, Crane? More on that later.
Ugh. How do I get off this show?
After a late-night snack, the Man-Bat returns to a house, and we see Dr. Kirk Langstrom wake up from, possibly a nightmare, but Kirk seems to think he's transforming again. Unfortunately for Kirk, he finds evidence that supports this. Back at the docks, the workers give a report to the police, who, despite all the weird shit that happens in Gotham, don't believe them. Batman, however, was listening in, and he thinks he knows just what the creature is. He hops on his bat bike and sets out. Spikes on the tires, eh, Batsy? I always thought you were into some kinky stuff, but this confirms it.
No, those are for the snow. You saw the roads. You can never be too safe.
Probably shouldn't be doing wheelies then in that weather, huh?
Do you want to swallow a mouthful of your own teeth?
No, I don't think I would enjoy that.
Then move on.
Moving on. Back at Langstrom's, his wife, Francine, finds the torn-up rug from the night before. We transition to the zoo, where Francine shows up demanding to know where Kirk is. Her father says that he's not her husband's keeper, and that he's been in the lab since before he got there. Inside the lab, we see Kirk struggling to get a formula correct.
I get his frustration. Numbers confound me all the time.
A lot of things confound you all the time. Francine confronts Kirk, assuming that he is taking the formula to turn himself into the Man-Bat again. Kirk denies this, claiming that if he is still transforming, it's Batman's fault.
Don't you get it yet, Batman? You failed!
I mean, really, Betsy, you failed all of us. That's why we all keep committing crimes.
What would you have me do?
Kill them.
If I kill them, I'm no better than they are. Now that is just not true.
Yes, we often torture people before we kill them. Hell, sometimes we just torture people for a laugh.
Frankly, I blame the justice system. It's Gotham's loose definition of the term insane that allows us to constantly break out of an asylum instead of a prison.
Francine thinks that Kirk is lying and says that she can't take it anymore, running out of the room. Batman says he can prove if Kirk is lying or not and takes a DNA sample to test back at the cave. Only before he can get on the road, this happens.
Wow! That's really weird that Kirk changed into his wife's pants before transforming this time.
Yeah, the Man-Bat is now wearing bright pants and part of a shirt, which is not how we saw him in his original appearance, or even at the start of this episode, so something funny is definitely going on here. Batman gets thrashed by the creature, though.
I did not. Then why did you flee? It's called a tactical retreat. I was trying to get the high ground or something.
The Man-Bat pursues Batman through the streets of Gotham and even onto the transit line. Oh man, you almost pancaked those people. Also, shouldn't you lead the big monster away from crowded areas to protect civilians?
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
I said, sound tactics. You've really got that thing where you want it.
That's what I thought you said.
Batman does manage to get his grappling line around one of the creature's legs, but he's unable to pull it down, resulting in... my bike!
Technically speaking, it's my bike. You just borrow it. If anyone should be upset, it's me. Wait. My bike!
Whatever. Back at the Batcave, Alfred bandages up Bruce's wounds while Bruce discovers he has a bit of fur from the creature on his costume. We transition to Kirk's house where he's on the phone trying to get a hold of his wife at the airport. Batman arrives to let Kirk know the good news.
I also got a sample of the creature's DNA, and after comparing them, I'm certain the monster is someone else.
Kirk rushes off to the airport to try to catch Francine before her plane leaves. Meanwhile, Batman heads back to the zoo to do some sleuthing.
You couldn't leave it alone, could you, March? You've recreated the mutagen.
Recreated it? I've refined it.
Batman assumes that March gave himself the formula, but he says that his daughter walked in on him before he could, and we get a flashback of what transpired.
Francine never guessed what I'd been doing. She even helped me clean up the mess. All that glass.
That's what a dustpan's for. You don't just rub your hand around in a pile of broken glass. What a dumb broad.
With the realization that Francine is the woman bat, Batman lays on a heavy guilt trip.
Is that what it's going to take? Your daughter's life before you end this insanity?
It works, and March burns his research, no doubt a changed man.
See? Some criminals can be changed without needing to kill them.
Ha! I give him a month tops, and he'll be right back in that lab, ready to experiment on himself or whoever happens to be nearby.
Over at the airport, Kirk surprises Francine on the plane, letting her know that he is not the Man-Bat. They embrace, but suddenly Francine is not feeling well. She goes to the lavatory and brings new meaning to the term destroying a bathroom.
I would like to point out that even though she's transformed, those are the ever-taboo lady nipples that we're seeing on that bat creature. Feels a bit inappropriate for a children's show.
Huh. I never really thought about that before. Wait, now that you bring it up, how many nipples do female bats have?
Just 2, which is why I appreciate the Joel Schumacher bat suits for their authenticity.
Okay. Anyway, Lady Bat pounds on the plane door until it opens, depressurizing the cabin. She flies out. A short time later, an unconscious Kirk gets sucked out of the plane. Lady Bat swoops him up and flies off. A flight attendant is also sucked out of the plane, but Batman saves her with the Batwing.
What? That's not how that works. Once a steel door is ripped open at a high altitude, you can't just daintily put it back in place and expect it to stay. Of course you can. Those are Wayne Tech planes using patented Wayne Tech Easy Seal doors. That's Easy Seal with the letters E and Z. Wayne Tech. It's better than Boeing. Which, admittedly, isn't difficult.
Batman pursues the Lady Bat through the skies of Gotham, forcing her to land on the top of a bridge support. Batman injects her with a dose of his antigen, but it doesn't work, and a struggle ensues.
You already fought this thing before. Shouldn't you have easily taken it down?
Have you ever heard the expression, the female of the species is more deadly than the male?
Nope.
Well, I have, and it's true.
Batman hits Francine with a second dart, but gets knocked to near unconsciousness in the process. The antigen works, and Francine turns back into herself.
That stuff also worked on a shirt because that is not the shape there was on the bat.
Francine is unaware of where she's at, and upon seeing the height, slips and falls off, but Kirk grabs her.
I've got you, honey. And this time, I'm not letting you go.
With Francine safe, the episode ends on Kirk saying,
The nightmare's finally over.
What a joke. They're married. That's the real nightmare. Still on the outs with Harley, huh? Shut it, bird boy, or I'll make you eat crow. Bar, that is.
This was a great follow-up to the original Man-Bat episode. They definitely fool you into thinking that Kirk has relapsed, but the keen-eyed viewer can probably figure out the twist before they reveal that based on the second appearance of the Bat creature. We get some decent action, a bit of Batman doing some detective work, and more concussions than Batman typically receives in one episode. What did you think, Joker?
I can't be mad at any episode where Batsy gets to break out some of his wonderful toys and destroy one or two of them. If I had to nitpick one thing, it's that Batsy didn't properly dispose of March, the real villain of the piece. I don't know, maybe it's just his striking resemblance to the Penguin, but I really wanted to see Batsy stuff a bomb down his pants and throw him into a storm drain. 3.5 out of 5 pasties for Lady Bat Nipples.
Thank you to the following supporters on Patreon: Jay Booth, Sean Hart, Jimmy Purcell, Rick Maxwell, Tony Ebbers, Jessica Tim, EC, J.R. Green, Emilio Flores, and AJN. If you'd like early access to videos and behind-the-scenes content, become a patron at patreon.com/jackofallnerds. And as an added bonus, every member gets free fear gas, though you don't get to choose when or how you receive it.
Join us next time when we'll be covering Almost Got 'Em. Oh, the fan-favorite episode where we villains take turns telling how we failed to kill Batsy? What a thrill. Till next time, kiddies!
Why bother giving the Lady Bat a shirt if they was just gonna show the nips anyway?
Yes, you didn't need it. The different colored trousers already gave us the visual clue that it was a different bat.
Maybe the shirt was to trick the censors. If you're not paying attention, you might not even notice the nipples. I never did.
Me either, and I'm always on the lookout for bat nipples.
Can we please stop talking about bat nipples?
That's right! Nipples are one of Batsy's triggers. That and his parents.
Yeah, but he takes the nipple thing way more seriously.
I will rip out your spine and use it as a pair of nunchucks to brutalize the rest of your corpse.
Uh-oh. Gotta go.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to give the video a like and a share. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can come back and appreciate bat nipples the way I do. In fact, I'm thinking about it right now. Yeah.